I hate death. And I hate that you have to experience it. And I hate you have to go through it. It kills me. And ultimately, it killed him. He sacrificed himself so that, because he said, I am the resurrection and the life. So that we may have a short separation time, but we will never be infinitely separated again from our loved ones, from God, from Jesus for all eternity. Jesus told Martha, I am the resurrection and the life. Anyone who believes in me will live even after dying. Everyone who lives in me and believes in me will never, ever die. Do you believe this, Martha? Do you believe this, Sarah? Do you believe this, Amy? Believe this, Mary Beth? Do you believe that anyone who believes in him will never, ever die? See, he spoke out to a man in a grave and said, Lazarus, come out. But I got to tell you, because of the celebration we just celebrated a few days ago of Easter, Jesus himself came out of the grave and lives right now, is alive and well in our hearts. Alive and well in the heavens, alive and well running this universe. And those who trust in him will never, ever die. We may mourn the loss of a life, but Mike is having a blast. He is loving what he now knows to be true life. Real life. Because the promise was, Jesus said, in this world you will have troubles. But take heart. I have overcome this world. I know that my time separated from Mike is going to be short. It's going to be shorter than some of you. And longer than others. But here's the thing. We never know. We never know how long that time is going to be. There's no guarantee. And as some of you young people know, you know that in this life there are no guarantees. We do lose people young and old alike. All around us. And there's no guarantee. Except for one. That Jesus is the way and the truth and the life. And no one lives except for him. And as much as it's so neat, it was so neat to sit here and to see these pictures. Mike is a funny guy. You know, very understated humor. Sometimes you have to really listen to catch his jokes, and sometimes not listen to catch his jokes. But a funny, heartfelt, humble guy. A servant of Christ. And what he would want most of all, I believe, is to invite you to know Jesus in the way that he most intimately knew him and knows him now. That's what he would most want for each and every one of you. We suffer now because of separation, and I shudder to think the people that I have at stake to lose, my family who are sitting here, and in celebration, they become my family. My own family, my wife, my dearest friends, the people I've met and worked with in ministry. But every one of those relationships on this side of earth will end. The only guarantee is the resurrection of the life of Jesus Christ. If you've never known him, if Mike's ever talked to you about him, and you thought, not today. Maybe tomorrow. I know that he would be first in line to say, don't wait. Salvation is a life. And the invitation is to accept from Jesus a full life. A real life. A joyous life. Because on this side, death, I can't use the language, but it ticks me off. only for a short time, we'll be reunited. And we will know joy and peace and serenity, and we will know the author of all these things. The invitation is to know life through Jesus. Amen.
I was thinking, while I was sitting there, that Mike had the first word tonight, and we'll get the last word tonight about his life. Many have described Mike as a private person, and I would agree with that assessment. He likely shared personal matters about himself with some people, but I believe he did not share every personal matter with any one person. I used to think that no one person really knew Mike, but I came to understand that everyone knew a part of Mike, the part he was comfortable with letting them know. So really, we all knew Mike collectively. I think he enjoyed the role of being big kid, with the most experience and resources and the willingness to help guide the other kids. Mike and I got along real well because we were in our dreams. We would talk for hours at a time and never go to sleep the first night at the annual teacher convention in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, discussing ways that we could improve and inspire and ignite and empower students to live for Jesus. He had a servant's heart for sure, as each of us whom he touched can attest to. He was always there to help. He would be one of the first to arrive and the last to leave. And I remember the first time that he helped me with a senior social. We were at that venue till 2:30 in the morning, just me and him and John Hargis. He was always in the background like the wind beneath your wings. He preferred the kitchen rather than the stage. He'd rather be washing dishes than making speeches. And if this was someone else's memorial service tonight, Mike would be standing in the back, usually leaning in the doorway, never sitting. And he would have already done a lot to make this time special and easy for that special someone. As a friend, Mike was faithful and true. As a teacher, he was faithful and true and innovative and worked hard to make learning fun. Some of you knew him as just in time. Any of you who learned about the French Revolution knew his way of teaching that. At times, I believe he was misunderstood and unfairly criticized for being too nurturing and too easy, and I disagree. I think Mike discovered the balance between being a teacher and a friend to all his student friends. Sometimes the line got blurred, but I came to understand why. Mike taught me that when faced with a gray area in regard to a student and unsure of what to do, just lean towards making a mistake in their favor. Mike was the one who taught me that sometimes it was better to ask for forgiveness rather than to ask for permission. His day never ended. He was always on call, always made himself available. He gave, and I would say even to a fault. But I knew that he knew that he was accountable to God, not me. And this is where perhaps he erred on the side of his students. Mike was loved by God and all of us. He was not perfect. And that's why he needed Jesus. And that's why he did what he did to make Jesus known in the lives of those who might know. God bless them.